So this is it, the last session of the day. We've got some amazing kind of talks coming up. We've got Lee Purvis, we've got a PR panel, which I'm going to be hosting last minute. And then we should be done for around, I don't know, like 5-ish, I think, something like that. But weirdly, I'm actually introducing myself to stage at the moment. And I'm going to be talking about the state of digital PR in 2023. A couple of warning points, though, before I get into the presentation. I move around a lot while talking, always have. And I've been told by the camera team and the photography team that I have to stay within these bollards. So it's going to be like a little weird game of Pong for me, jumping back and forth here. And you're probably looking at the title of the talk now thinking, why is he talking about it in June? We're in June, right? Yeah, June, and not in January or February when we've got the year ahead of us. You know, the state of digital PR in 2023, that should be something that we talk about at the beginning of the year, right? Well, the truth is so much has changed in the industry over the past 6 or 7 months that it actually has become really important to talk about it now. But before I talk about the state of PR and the kind of things that I see happening and the tools that I think we'll be using and the trends and the tactics that we'll be using, I think it's quite important to take a trip down memory lane and look at the history of digital PR. So even though I have the face of a 5-year-old, I've actually worked in the industry for around 13 years, give or take. And in that time, the industry has changed absolutely loads. And may I say, for the better, much, much for the better. But it has changed loads nonetheless. Now, I decided to try and think about how it's changed and break that time period up into different eras. So I broke it into 3 kind of key moments, really. Oh, there we go. I've got 2012 to 2014 and 15, the link juice years, that's what I'm calling it. Now, some of you are probably looking and thinking, what the fuck is link juice? But honestly, if you've only just started working in the industry, or if you've been working in it for the past year or 2 years, you've probably never heard the word link juice. But I promise you, this was an actual phrase used back in the day, right? So it meant SEO value. It meant link equity. So I would legitimately have clients ringing me on a daily basis saying, I need more link juice. It was a bizarre period, but it happened. Then we moved into what I call the link building years, and now we're in the digital PR years. So I want to explore exactly what happened in each one of those. Sorry. Just going to try and not knock that over. So this is the link juice years. So let me take you back to 2012 on my first ever day of working in the industry, okay? And I built my first link on my first day, which sounds insane, right? That's pretty fast, that's pretty good going. But the truth is, link building then was easy. It was so easy because we just spammed the web. We just paid links. We did awful, terrible things, okay? And you can see here 2 of the links that I got placed on my first day. So this was for a personal injury client. I know that you might not be able to see that fully. Now, I blocked out the name of the personal injury client for obvious reasons, but we used to just create terrible content and get links placed into them. So you can see here that a terrible cycling blog talking about staying safe while cycling on the road, I got 4 product links added into that blog. And then a terrible, terrible mummy blog saying accidents at work are on the rise. Do you know what to do if you have a workplace mishaps? And I got 2 product links added into that blog post. The truth is, nobody ever read that content. It was just there for links. It was just there to get the link juice, right? It was never, ever going to get any real readership. And thankfully, as an industry, we changed. We got cleverer. We adapted and realized that this had no value. And Google did the same as well and realized that actually these links pass no equity at all because they're just there to manipulate their search results. I say we've stopped. It's actually 2023 now, so 13 years on, or 11 years on, and people are still doing it in certain industries, which actually baffles me. But anyway, if we move on to what I call the link building years, this is what we then saw, right? People stopped buying links, people stopped spamming the web, and people were getting really good links off massive sites, your Cosmos, your BBCs, your Vice, all that. And the way that they were doing that is by jumping on PR trends. So they would see something work, and then they would just do that. Right? And I'm actually halfway through writing a blog post at the moment for The Drum called Copycat PR, and that's exactly what that is. So if you see something work, then everybody jumps on that. So your surveys, your dream jobs, your Instagram rich list, your PR indexes, everybody was doing that. And you know what? There was nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with doing that, right? But the challenge we face is that during that period, we were getting great links, but people were losing relevancy because people were doing this kind of stuff just because it worked. So you would have people like clothing brands doing an index on the best place to buy Prime because it was trending in the news. And obviously it had nothing to do with their business or the services that they offer. So relevancy was lost within that kind of sector, that time period, if you will. And then we move to where we are now and what digital PR looks like now, and it's all about relevance, okay? It's relevance. So here are a couple of links that my team have built over the past few weeks, which are super, super, super relevant. So you can see here, the one closest to me, G-shaped kitchens, why this layout is the talk of the town. So it was on Ideal Home and was for a kitchen brand of ours. So Ideal Home is the perfect publication because it's read by their customers, because they will read that publication while going through that kitchen buying process. Obviously, G-shaped kitchens, we got a designer in to talk about the trends, the styles, the price points, all of that kind of stuff. So it was completely, completely relevant, and we got a link at the same time. We also did a campaign with a hosting company looking at how much money was lost from slow loading websites on the e-commerce sites. And we did a feature with Tech Radar, and you can see there, again, super, super relevant publication. And then the last one, you can see PG Buzz, which is a trade publication for one of our clients, Thoughtful Cards. So again, really relevant link. So relevancy has become hugely important, and finally we picked up on that. The truth is this though, relevancy isn't becoming more important in digital PR. It's always been important. It has always been a huge factor. In fact, let's have a look back in 2021 when this cheeky chap came out and said this. This is John Mueller, by the way, from Google, and he is really sporadic with his comms, okay? So he doesn't give much away. But in 2021, he did say the following. We tried to understand what is relevant for a website, how much we should weigh these individual links, and the total number of links doesn't matter at all. Because you could go off and create millions of links across millions of websites if you wanted to, and we would just ignore them all. So what he's saying there is quite simple. It isn't a numbers game. It's not a quantity game. It's a relevance game, okay? So you could go out and build 1,000 non-relevant links that would have less SEO impact than 5 or 6 really good relevant links. So relevancy and informational content is becoming more important, and it's going to become even more important as Google rolls out AI within its search. So again, just forgive me, I know it's a little bit blurry on the screen back here, but this is a GIF of somebody using the new AI system to look for bike rides with hills on a 5K bike ride. Okay, and as you can see, you can chat to the AI bot within the search results, but what you will also see in a few slides' time is that it pulls through external websites. If it loads, it zooms up in a minute. There it goes, right on the very corner, talking about that kind of stuff. So search has changed, or search is changing. Okay, so if you're Googling something like, I don't know, best holidays to go on with a newborn, then you can obviously interact with Google through the AI bot. And what it's going to do is it's going to pull through articles that are talking about that new search query. And if you're a travel brand or a parenting brand or one that does both, then you're going to want to try and make sure that you're optimizing for that and you're getting in there as well, because you're going to be capturing more search. So as relevancy becomes more and more important, the question then becomes, how do we measure relevance in digital PR? And that is the million-dollar question, right? That is the stuff that we've been trying to look for absolutely years, because relevancy is so, so subjective. Because what is relevant to me may not be relevant to you, and vice versa. So I decided to do a little bit of research and look at how other people in the industry are reporting on relevance. Now, I do not disagree or agree with this. I'm just showcasing you how it's done by me talking to a few in-house brands over the past few weeks. Okay, if these work for you, then they work for you, because there is no one rule when it comes to measuring relevancy in PR. So if these work for you to do, I'm just showcasing how people are measuring them. There are tools out there that measure language. So for example, you could, if you're working with a kitchen client, say you're working with a kitchen client, and you get an article placed, and it's talking about kitchens or fitted kitchens, or it's talking about kitchen islands or something like that, then you would presume that's relevant, right? Because it's talking about something that you offer and something that your customers are looking for. The fact is it has to have a level of common sense overlaid with it, because I could quite easily create an article on kitchens for my kitchen client and then just send it out to a load of terrible, terrible sites. Does that make it a good link? No, it doesn't. Because although the content's great, although the content is answering the question that we wanted to answer for our customers, it's not getting in front of the right audience. Okay, so you have to marry the two together. You have to understand what is it that your customers are reading, what is it that your customers are wanting, marry the two together, and obviously get a link back at the same time. The other way that I see a lot of people measuring relevancy is link scoring. So they will take a variety of different metrics, be that DRDA, if the link is followed or not followed, I don't know, SEM, rush traffic, something like that, and they will give each one of them a weighting, and then like a scoring point, and then they'll say, you know what, links that score 80 pass our system, links that score 70 don't. So again, I'm not saying that it's a good way or a bad way, I'm just saying that that's the way that people are measuring it at the moment, and if it works for you, then you should continue to do that. But actually, when I think about relevancy in PR, I think we need to take a step back. I think we need to stop, okay? Stop thinking about the link for a second and actually think, well, what does PR mean? So I Googled it. So this is what, according to the CIPR, which is the Chartered Institute of Public Relations, this is what PR means. Public relations is about reputation, the result of what you do, what you say, and what others say about you. Public relations is the discipline which looks after reputation with the aim of earning, understanding, and support and influencing opinion and behavior. It is the planned and sustained effort to establish and maintain goodwill and mutual understanding between an organization and its publics. Well, that's really self-explanatory, right? That's easy to understand. Everybody knows it's not self-explanatory at all. It's super wordy. It's really filled with jargon. It doesn't mean anything. But ultimately, this is what they're trying to say. We need to build relationships, okay? Be that with the media, be that with your customers, be that with investors. That's what PR is. It's building relationships with the people who you need to build a relationship with. We need to get our content seen by the right people, and we need to talk about the things our customers talk about and answer the questions that they have. One of the key things that I see happen quite a lot, and it's never ever changed in the entire time I've worked in this industry, is that sometimes I'll work with a brand and what's really interesting to them is not interesting to their audience. So if you're working for, I don't know, a legal firm, they will love the kind of really I don't know, jargon-heavy, complex legal stuff, but their customers won't. So we need to understand what it is that our customers want to see, and we need to build a relationship with them. That's as simple as it is. We need to get a link while doing that, but that's what relevancy is. So it's no longer enough to just think of an idea and push it out the door. And we've all been guilty of it in PR, every single one of us. I guarantee you we have. We've all been pulled into a brainstorm, we've sat in it for 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or whatever it is, and we've just thought of an idea, thought that'll do, and push it out. We'll think of, I don't know, the best Instagrammable whatever, or a survey on this, or the top hashtags on this, or whatever it is. But it's no longer good enough to just think of an idea and push it out of the door. We need to now research our audience and then create content that suits their need. Okay, and remember that our audience is continually changing. I read a stat the other day, now do not quote me on this, it was Will Levitt, who is our head of paid media at Connected Free, told me he was speaking to one of our Google reps, and I think it was something ridiculous, like 70% of Google searches are brand new searches. Okay, they've never been searched before. So the way that we're searching, the things that our customers are wanting, the things that our audience are wanting is continuously changing, and we need to change with them and create content that suits their need. Now, luckily, there are tools that can help us do that. And this is the first change that I think we will see. Well, not change, but I suppose trend in digital PR in 2023, is the use of social listening. Now, anyone who follows me on LinkedIn and Twitter will know that I bang on about this quite a lot because I honestly think it is one of the most underrated, underutilized, and important tools you can have when doing digital PR. So social listening, for those that don't know, there are loads of companies that do it, like tools that do it. Just Google it, but you have people like UScan, Brandwatch, Linkfluence, Meltwater. But social listening allows you to input your brand, your competitors. You could input a subject, a topic, even your social channels, and it will tell you people who are talking about that across reviews, forums, editorial, obviously social media, and it will show you the sentiment, it will show you what they like, what they dislike, who they're following, who's influential in that space. It gives you an absolutely unprecedented and live view of customer data, okay? So I did this, just to give you an example of how I did this. I used our social listening tool, which is Linkfluence. Their social listening platform is called Radarly. And I wanted to have a look at, for one of our US clients, I was having a look at people who talk about AI in business, okay? So people who are talking about AI in business in the US. It was a very short time frame, and these are just top-level screenshots. But you can see here that Twitter is the main place that people are having a conversation, and then websites. So what I can do is I can click into the websites, and I can see all the journalists who are talking about that. So that's where my customers are getting their information from, these sites, these journalists. So I can start to build a media list and understand a little bit more about what I should do. It shows me who's influential in that space, what their likes are, what their dislikes are. So that you can see here, where it says top values of all the green text and red text. I appreciate that you might not be able to read it, but it shows you what they're liking and disliking, and it'll show you even places that they're digesting that information. So for example, the Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, Spotify. So yeah, we can't build a link on Spotify. That'll be podcasts, right? People will be doing podcasts and things like that. But again, we can take that information and understand where the audience of that podcaster are reading and what they're reading, and see if we can get links off the editorial that surrounds that. So social listening is going to become really important because our customers' needs are changing, and we just need to make sure that we're there. We need to make sure that we're answering their questions. We need to make sure that we're in the publications that they're reading about the stuff that they want to read, and social listening can absolutely help you do that. Now, I want to show you something really, really cool from a company called UScan, okay? So I trialed this the other day. Uscan are incredible, by the way. Really incredible company. So they are a social listening platform, so they do everything that I've just explained that they do, but they've incorporated AI within their system, right? So this here, again, I know you can't see that, but what they've done is they've looked for people talking about Polestar, you know, the electric car? Yeah. So you can say, just show me people who are talking about it on TikTok. Just show me people talking about it on Twitter or on reviews or on editorial or in comments or on all of it, and it will pull it through. And then what you can do is you can use something called Insights Copilot, which is their AI system, to ask it questions like, show me the top 5 trending things that people are asking about out of all the mentions. And it will analyze and say, this is the concerns that your customers have. This is the top things that they're talking about. Top 5 things that are trending. Top 5 things that they dislike. Top 5 things that they like. You can use AI and it will literally analyze all of the mentions in minutes and pull through data that your customers are asking, issues that your customers are having, and then obviously you can incorporate that within your digital PR strategy. Honestly, please check this company out. I actually don't work with them at the moment, but I will be soon, hopefully. They're incredible. So I think that social listening is going to become obviously massive in digital PR in 2023, but I also think, I've just talked about AI, but I don't think I can come on stage and talk about digital PR in 2023 moving into 2024 without touching on artificial intelligence, all right? Artificial intelligence is going to become part of our daily jobs. I know we all crap ourselves at times, thinking, oh my God, they're taking our jobs. They're not, okay? People who learn to use AI will take your jobs. That was a quote Alan told me the other day. Yeah, so AI is going to become a massive part of what we do over the next, well, I suppose now moving on out. And it's just getting cleverer and cleverer every day. So the first thing I want to show you what we should be using AI for, or what I've been using AI for, is data capture. So again, I know it's a blurry GIF, which I created, but I asked ChatGPT how many households in the US earn over $200,000. Please break me down that data by state. It will then use a plugin called Block Atlas, which will scrape the US census data, and it will pull me that information straight away. So what would have took me absolutely hours before is now taking me seconds. And the plugins that are available on ChatGPT, they are literally getting added every single day. So yesterday, as an example, there was one which was added in about politics. So you could scrape I don't know, like political speeches, political debates. So I asked it, how many times has Rishi Sunak mentioned the word Brexit in the past 2 years? And it told me. Straight away, it told me, okay? That is the level of data you can get. And remember that this is getting cleverer and cleverer every single day. So data capture for using AI is going to become a massive, massive trend within PR. Just remember, though, you do need to sense check the data. You do, okay? Make sure it's up to date. It's not 100% perfect yet, so do sense check it. The other thing you can use is perplexity.ai. I think this is a cool tool. So you can ask it any questions, and you can say, show me people, and it will answer that question and show you sources that you can use within your content. So you can just do it on Wikipedia, you can just do it on YouTube, you can just do it on Reddit. I've asked it here how many stars are in the night sky, and if I'd have clicked enter, it would have showed me. And it will bring through all the sources that are talking about that information, which I can use within my content, or within my on-site page, or whatever. Just remember, though, that you do need to check the sources to make sure they are reliable. But again, this is a free tool, all right? Completely free tool, and it's just getting cleverer and cleverer and cleverer every day. So using AI for data capture will become a really big part of digital PR. The other thing I think will become a big part of PR is AI for press release support. I use the word support, okay, because I don't want you just to outsource your press release. I assure you, don't do that. But let me just show you. I asked ChatGPT to write me a press release on the top 5 barbecue tips. Okay, that's when we had the good weather a few weeks ago. Oh, bless you. Somebody, and this is what it said. The top 5 essential barbecue tips unveiled for the ultimate summer cookout, blah, 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 blah. All right, you can read through it. It's not perfect. You can tell it's written by AI, but it's all right. It's all right. It gives you a steer. Should you outsource your press releases to AI? Absolutely not, because it will never get your tone of voice. It will never get the layout right, because if you're selling a press release into the Financial Times, that's going to look very different to a press release that you're selling to Cosmo, as an example. But if you're a bit stuck and you have got writer's block, or you just want to see, it can be used. It absolutely can be used. But again, just use it with caution. And that is my word of warning. So just use AI as a guide. Always sense check the data and always rework the copy. AI is moving fast, like crazily fast. There are new tools every single day. You need to kind of keep your ear to the ground. And it is getting cleverer and cleverer and cleverer every single day. But always kind of sense check it, okay? Now, inevitably, we will see people trying to use AI for all PR tasks. It will happen, all right? We love to break things. Digital marketers love to break things. Remember when forums were a good thing, and then we spammed them for links? Now they're broken. What about directories? They used to be brilliant for finding business information. Yeah, we spammed that and broke that. Google's just trying to make sure that we don't break Google. And people will try and play this. So you will see people using AI for designs. You will see AI for copy, data capture, press releases, and outreach. Honestly, I have seen companies come forward and say that they can do outreach, link acquisition, using AI, so using in selling, okay? Don't do it. Because this is going to be, I'm going to tell you the world's worst kept secret in digital PR, and that's that outreach is hard. It's difficult. It's meant to be hard. It's meant to be difficult. It's meant to be time consuming, and it's meant to be tough. Okay, you can't just outsource it and automate it. It doesn't work. If you're not building them relationships, if you're not grafted, if you're not looking at what that journalist has read and pulling relevant people and really working to earn that link, you're not doing it right. And if you do choose, because you obviously can, to automate your outreach through AI, what will happen is you will build links like this and you will end up back in the link juice years. And trust me, as somebody who has got through that period, we do not want to be going back there. You will just end up getting low quality links that never get read by anyone, and it'll just be, I don't know, just the sake of doing it, completely wasted time and resource and money. So I think AI, well, I know that AI will be a huge part of PR in 2023. Social listening, I still think, honestly, I do, because just look at the way that customers are searching. 70% of new searches every single day. The introduction of Google's new SGE, the introduction of the younger generation searching on TikTok rather than on Google. It is changing everything. The questions that we have are changing. The way that we adapt and kind of take in information is changing, so we have to change with it. And social listening is the only thing that will give you a live dashboard of what your customers are doing, and then obviously you can choose to take that information and PR it. On top of that, obviously AI, and finally influencers and PR will collaborate more, okay? They just will. So I asked Kenny, who's on he just moderated this stage before. He's a social media manager at Connected Free. He's actually on the stage next door to us at the moment. I asked him for a few stats on influencers, and this is what he sent me. 82% of people said that they are highly likely to act upon the recommendations of an influencer. 63% of 18 to 24-year-olds trust what an influencer says about a brand more than the brand itself. And 73% of users made the purchase within a couple of days, and 48% within 24 hours. I thought I was going to fall off stage. And we look at these stats, and I would presume that most of us in here are marketers, digital marketers. I mean, maybe not everyone, but most of us are. And we look at them as a marketer, and that's part of the challenge we face. Because we're looking at that and thinking, because if you see something pop up on your Instagram of somebody reviewing a product, you instantly know what it is. You think, oh, it's influencer marketing, you know that's been gifted. But the majority of people who are trying to reach are not marketers. They don't have a marketer's mindset. They don't understand that. Best example I can give you is this. About 6 months ago, I came home from work, and there was a parcel through the door. My wife had ordered, no, I'm not going to do this justice because I'm definitely not my target market, but it was like a sponge that shook. I don't know what it was, right? And you cleaned your head with it. And I said, what's this then? And she said, oh my God, there was this influencer. It was like cleaning the face or whatever, and I just had to buy it. And I was like, oh my God, to her, she was looking at that and saying, this person's recommending that product. This person is endorsing that product. I must have that product. And she went off straight away and bought that product. As a marketer, I was thinking, oh, you've been stitched up like a kipper here. That's influencer marketing. That's somebody who's done that on purpose. But it's true, it does happen, okay? And the reason I think that PR and influencers will work closer together is because, as I've mentioned before, search is changing. So this is Google's latest search update. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but this is the perspective tabs. So they're now pulling influencer content into search results, or they will be soon. I know it's only being tested on a few devices at the moment. So for example, this image here that you can see to the front is somebody just Googling jeans, okay? And there is an influencer there from YouTube saying what top to wear with different types of jeans, okay? And that's the way that we're digesting content now. The image to the back is how to make friends in a new city. And again, we can see that there are loads of influencer content being pulled through on that perspective tabs. Our customers' search is changing, okay? The way that they're searching is changing. They're going to be using influencers more, so you're going to want to get in front of them through that channel, okay? And you're going to want to try and rank for the search terms that they're searching for through things like influencers as well as through organic search. So you have to take that into consideration when doing your digital PR. So as we move through 2023 into 2024, PR will change massively. Okay, but I think that social listening will be the key to help you understand what's happening with your customers and how their searches are changing. I think that AI is not something to be scared of. Okay, it's something to be wary of. And I generally think, you can't trust it 100%, honestly you can't. But you can use it for efficiencies and to help you. And I think as well that if you're not incorporating or if you're not looking at an influencer kind of strategy as part of your overall content creation and link building or whatever you want to call it, then you're going to be missing a massive trick because it's such a huge part of search moving forward. Thank you very much. That was me.